What's up, guys? On today's podcast, I had Collin on. He's killing it with theme pages. He has over 1.5 million followers. He's growing new pages, starting new ones, growing new ones. He's making between $10,000 and $20,000 a month. And the best part is, he just turned 18. All right. He shared a lot of value on this podcast, on this interview. It was absolutely amazing. And he also told us about his Discord community where you can actually learn from him and benefit. So stay tuned and listen to the pod. What's up, Colin? Good to have you here. Thanks for coming on. And super excited to have you here, first of all. We haven't talked much, just over messages. So I'm kind of stoked to interview you. But, just introduce yourself. What do you do? Kind of where you're from and how we met.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you for having me come on, of course. Our first time really
Absolutely.
meeting, like you said. And then my name's Collin. I'm 18. I live in America on the East Coast in Connecticut, and I'm into theme pages. So I post content, make it around my brand, put my watermark, my editing style. And then across all the pages on Instagram, we have like 1.5 million followers. And then we have other social media accounts too, TikTok, YouTube. So like definitely over 2 million followers with everything combined. Not sure, I haven't added it up in a while, but
Nice. That's really cool. So you said you're 18, right?
yeah,
So like when did you get into all of this space and how did you even, come across this space? Because it's not super popular, to be honest. Like not many people are
yeah,
talking
definitely.
about like
It's kind of
pages
like
and
a underground business model.
yeah, exactly. Everyone's talking like drop shipping and stuff, but no one's talking theme pages. So how
Yeah.
did you run into it and
I
how
would
old
say
were
I
you?
first, yeah, I say I would, I think, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's on YouTube. He
Yeah,
makes like drop
definitely.
shipping posts and stuff, but he used to make stuff about Instagram theme pages and how he would make some money. So that's where I
Yeah.
first heard about the idea. And then I figured I would start one just because it seemed like, well, I started at 16, by the way. So it was just the easiest, lowest barrier to entry. I didn't need any money to start. I could just use my phone. So I had everything I needed to go. I just needed to learn the skills. And the first page I started was a page about cars. And I posted on that for a little bit. I didn't really know what I was doing. Maybe for a few months, and it got like 200 followers. I gave up. And then a few months later, I started seeing his videos again on YouTube. And then that's when I started Mindset Hub. I started posting on TikTok. And then now we have
Yeah.
everything, the YouTube, Instagram.
Nice. Yeah, I actually kind of started the first page I ever started was a meme page, and I started because Biahiza uploaded a video on how to start a meme page, and I started it, but it was like 4 years ago, probably. Um,
Yeah.
like yeah, he was still doing the theme page videos. So yeah, Mindset Hub, that's crazy. And on Instagram, you have 1.2 million followers, right?
Yeah. On that account.
Yeah,
And then
and
I own
you
some
kind
other
of grew it
pages,
very
but
quick.
yeah, it was in the beginning, I didn't really take it serious at all. Like I've had the page for longer than I've really been posting on it and taking it serious. Because in the beginning, when I didn't really know anything, I was just posting on TikTok and it started going viral way easier. So I was only posting on that. I was kind of ignoring Instagram and YouTube. Plus the content I was making, I don't think it really would have even done well then. But then I started noticing a lot of the followers coming from TikTok to Instagram just from having the link in bio with like a little call to action, follow us on Instagram. So then I started learning how to take the videos of you see like Steve Harvey or something talking and you put the captions on it. So I started seeing those all over Instagram and I started switching my whole content to that on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And then, I mean, it was pretty quick before I got like my first kind of viral video. And it was crazy seeing all the notifications and stuff, having to turn off
Yeah.
the notifications for Instagram. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, Steve Harvey definitely changed a lot of lives just
Yeah.
by people clipping him. There are so many clips and like one of my friends, Stay Strong Motivated, he grew to like 1.2 million followers mainly because of Steve Harvey. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. So like before that, you just watched Bia has a video and you were like hooked, or did you have like any experience before with social media? Were you
No,
active on
yeah.
social media? Like,
I mean, I was using social media like as much as like any normal kid my age, but definitely not any experience like business wise or how to make money on it or grow on it. I was just kind of I was consuming, I wasn't creating at all. And then B, he's a kind of he planted the seed in my head, and then
mm,
I started taking it serious. And it was like a the process. I was kind of just learning along the way. I didn't have like a mentor or bought a course or anything. But now going back, I definitely wish if I really knew how big this could be, definitely got someone to help out a little bit.
yeah, kind of when I started, I also struggled because I was just taking advice from like random YouTubers who were doing
Yeah,
like challenges, from like 0 to 1,000 followers. And all they would do is just like follow a bunch of random people in hopes that they would follow back. So, it's not sustainable to do that. But that's kind of how I got probably my first like 300 followers on Instagram just by doing follow for follow. So, yeah, definitely. And still to this day, there's not like many people talking about it. So it's pretty hard to find good information unless you
yeah,
like really dig deep. So I'm glad we're coming out and speaking about this, here and
yeah,
putting people on
definitely.
game.
Yeah, I think the scene definitely needs a lot more attention. I think it deserves a lot more attention. It's a great opportunity. There's so many people making great money, life changing amounts of money by doing
Yeah,
something that's
definitely.
pretty simple.
Yeah, it's super simple, right? So you started pretty much like no money invested, no experience.
Yeah,
Like you were just a social media user, right? But like you're 18, so if you started at 16, like probably it was, the pandemic time and stuff. Like
yeah,
everyone
that's
was
when I
scrolling on
started.
social media. Yeah. So it's like normal, right? You didn't need much experience. Well, while you look at other business models and like you kind of really need to be business savvy and know like sales and outreach
Yeah,
and a bunch of different stuff. This is like a low hanging fruit. People just give up too early, let's say, when they start uploading, right? So for you, wasn't it hard to like keep up uploading before you got your first viral video?
um,
Because I remember like before I hit it big with a few viral videos, it was kind of hard to keep uploading consistently. But then when I got the first one, it was so easy because you were seeing the result, right?
I feel like for me, in the beginning, the consistency, like it wasn't that difficult just because I was very like driven and hungry to see it. Like I saw other people getting results, so I knew if I stayed consistent, I would also eventually get them. But it definitely became way easier when I got the first the first viral video. Then I just never stopped posting, and I didn't miss a single day for the whole like 2 years I've owned the brand. And most of the time
Nice.
has been me manually posting, like at school or at work, wherever. I mean, I don't have a job now; I'm not in school now, but for most
Yeah.
of the brand's lifetime, I was.
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much after you hit that first viral video, you just like decided that's something you should focus on and like this is a
Yeah.
career you're kind of gonna play out, right?
Yeah, I mean, at first then I'm not even sure if I was really seeing it as a career then, but I was just like, "Oh, this is obviously working, like, it's growing the pages." I didn't really have an idea of how to monetize them. That happened a little
Mhm.
bit later when I started having people, like, reach out, and I've heard about the promos from watching people like Biahiza, but I didn't really know how much potential it had. So I thought maybe I could make, like, a extra couple $100 a month or something and just have something
Yeah.
to do, but
So let's talk about that. So you had like zero knowledge about the monetization itself, right? Like selling products
yeah.
or selling shout outs. So like what do you do now to monetize your following? Obviously, you have like a huge follower network on like
Yeah.
multiple channels. So, what do you do to monetize? And how much money does this actually bring you per month? And if you don't want to say like complete numbers, it's totally cool. But give us a ballpark at least.
So, right now, I'm only monetizing through promotions, and that's what I've done for the longest. Because really, I would say in the past couple months is when I've realized that there's like even more. Like I'm still learning about this business model, just because I don't have like a mentor. I didn't really buy a course or anything, but now I'm starting to invest in myself, learn more about it. really realize that's why I'm about the private community that I'm starting, the newsletter, stuff like that. I want to really get away from promotions so my page can be making the same money and even more, but not having to promote other people's products, other people's brands. Just keep growing my own thing. And right now, Mindset Hub, the main page, makes like 10 to 20K a month with promos. And
Right.
then, which was kind of crazy, like the first 10K month I had before I even turned 18. So that was
That's
a
really cool.
a crazy feeling. But and then we have other pages too that are a little smaller, like under 500,000 followers. So those make some money through the promotions too. Really just me bundling them together. Like people reach out on the other page, I sell them promotions on MindSub. People reach out on MindSub, I sell them promotions on that page. So that's been really helpful.
So those people when they buy promotions, like what do you usually charge per promo? Like if it's not like a huge deal, or how do you even structure it?
For the longest time, I was charging like really cheap, like $100 for a post. Even till like
Yeah.
very recently, like when I had like 800,000 followers and stuff. And then I was talking to more people and realized that that's like way too low. So
Yeah.
now I start between like 250 to $300 and negotiate based on how many they want or stuff like that, like bulk deals, of course.
So it's not like you just have one price and like you either buy it or not. Usually the client
No,
reaches out and you kind of go back and forth, right? You kind
yeah,
of
I
see
would
what
say
they want.
it's always a back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's just ever like agreed right to it and sent the money.
Yeah. So like how did you learn that kind of, because it's pretty hard to negotiate with these business owners, right? Because obviously if
Yeah,
someone is paying you $300 for a shout out, like they usually have money to spend because they're spending money on like 20 different pages, right? So
yeah.
they must be making money and they must be like pretty good salespeople and business people. So how do you like negotiate with them and how did you learn that?
Uh, Again, I would say like really I learned that from just like trial and error and repetition. Just keep on doing it, keep on getting new people asking for promos, learning what to say and learning what not to say. And then also kind of um like I wasn't desperate for the money. Even though at 16 I didn't really have any money, but like at that same time I didn't have any bills. I wasn't desperate for it, so I just simply wouldn't like undervalue the page. Like if I thought a price was fair, and gave them a good deal, I'm not just going to keep going below it and below it if they keep asking for more off. So I think that's good when it comes to negotiating for promotions. Like be fair, obviously, but also hold your ground. Don't let them just run you over because they'll just
Yeah.
keep going lower and lower and try to get the best price.
So pretty much this is how it works, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. You just build up this page and then business owners who kind of want to borrow your audience, let's say, they just reached out to you and they're like, "Hey, can you promote me on your page?" And you're like, "Yeah, $300." And then you kind of go back and forth and they can probably buy like 5 or 10 promos at the same time, right? Depending on the person, and you just get hit with the money and you upload it, right? And it's all through like Instagram DM, right?
Yeah, so I have like a copy and paste message that I send to people when they ask like promotion rates or do you sell shout outs, whatever. I copy and paste thing with the pages I own, the prices for each page, for posts, stories, and then also includes a line saying how we offer bulk deals and that we have slots open for the next few days to kind of create some scarcity. And then we just go from there. They negotiate, they ask for page insights, etc. I send them, and then sometimes we'll switch it to Telegram, whatever, just because I'm more active on there.
Mm.
And then send them a Stripe link, PayPal invoice, whatever they choose, and then the money just hits the account.
It sounds pretty simple, right? Like it seems like you've built more like an asset than a business. It's like people want to pay rent to get on your page pretty
Yeah.
much. It's like a lot of ad space, right? So now you're making money from that. Was that like the first money you made was with selling promos, or did you do anything before that?
Yeah, that was the first money I made with Instagram from an agency reaching out. And then I remember I didn't even like I had no idea about it. I sent like some invoice I made on Canva when they asked for a PayPal invoice. I just had no idea how to do it. I still had to make the account. And since I was under 18, like use my mom's information and stuff for the PayPal business account. That was kind of funny, a little embarrassing, but
Yeah.
now I
And,
learned more about it. And I still work
but
with that agency today.
but the money hit, right? And you got the money.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how did you feel? Like, were you pretty stoked when you got the money and you were like, yeah, this is actually working now?
Yeah, definitely. I remember just getting like $50 or $80 just felt crazy just because it just like it came from nowhere. Like I'm just
Yeah.
on my phone and money's coming into my account. It was just crazy. I didn't really even realize the potential.
Yeah,
It was
it's
just
the
like a shock.
craziest thing ever when you start getting the notifications from like whatever, Stripe or PayPal or
Yeah.
whatever you're using to sell products. I remember when I started, I was selling this $17 ebook when I had like 50,000 followers. And like $17 is nothing, right? And especially when they take like, the percentage of the transaction fees. And at the end of the day, you get like $14. But it's like the craziest thing because you don't expect it. It's like you're just walking to like the gym and you pull up your phone and you have like $14 just came in. It
Yeah.
seems like the craziest thing ever when you just started and you never made money like that. So it's super cool to hear. So it seems like promotions right now are like the main thing. And I'm seeing this in the market too. Like most of the people are making money with promotions. So what's your plan like now? You said you're building a Discord, right? You're building a paid community.
Yeah.
Do you think that will be like a better way of monetization and like you'll become a better businessman or let's say entrepreneur by doing that? And like, why are you making that move?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I think it will definitely be better for the page long term because the promotions, people don't want to see them, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
and then this will also, I'll be able to teach my audience something, help them, give them the skills that I've learned along the way to build pages, start from scratch. And I'm still trying to build pages up too. Like promotions is a great way to make money.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll ever stop that, but I don't want to only rely on making money from other people running ads on my page. I guess just because who knows, that's not really in my control as much as I would like it to be. But if I own the product, I own the community, then that's fully my thing. And then if something happens to it, that's on me. I'm fully responsible for it, you know?
Yeah. So it happens to me like every day almost. When I get sent like to upload a promotion, I kind of like look at a promotion and I'm like, I don't really want to upload this, but like I
Yeah.
know it will pay well. Do you get the same thing, like where you don't want to upload the promo, but it just pays well?
Yeah. There's definitely some posts that are like a little in a gray area that I definitely would not post if it was my regular content, but I make the exception only because it's paid for and it's making me money,
Yeah,
which that's something I don't really like to do a lot, but I guess that's just
yeah,
the position I'm in right now until I can start making money in these other paths with the community and the newsletter eventually.
yeah. So, what about the community? What are you gonna be teaching there? Is it live? Like, how does it work? Is it on Discord? Like, tell me more
Yeah,
about it.
it's on Discord. I mean, right now it's live to the point where people can join, talk in the free chats. Right now, I'm just giving out like kind of free advice if people ask for tips about their page or like kind of page reviews, asking how
Mm,
they can get their reach up or ask for me to critique their content. But right now, I'm still working on the actual video course that's going to be in the paid section of the community. So I have a team member named Aiden, and we're working on that, building it, all the back end stuff, and looking for ways that we're going to promote in broadcast channels, stories, stuff like that. And it's going to be fully how to start from scratch, like not knowing anything at all about Instagram theme pages, how to grow, how to make money with the following you grow. And then right now I'm helping a couple of my friends actually to get some case studies, testimonials, and just giving them everything I know for free. So that way I can show people that it actually works and they don't just have to take my word for it.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of how I got started in like selling info products and coaching and helping people. Like at first I didn't want to do it for some reason. I just had this like idea of courses I didn't like. But then I taught my girlfriend at that time how to grow a page, and she grew to like 850,000 followers. And then I taught my very close friend how to do it, and his name is Stay Strong Motivated. He's at 1.2 million followers now. And then I was like, whoa, I thought I just got lucky, but I guess like I actually know the information and I know the steps a person should take to just grow an audience. So I brought on a few more friends. A few of the guys gained like 100K followers. Then I showed it to my brother. He didn't want to do it, but his girlfriend wanted to do it. She grew to like 300,000 followers, sold her page, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. Let me launch a course and see if I can help anyone like outside of my kind of network. Just a quick plug, guys. If you want to learn everything we're talking about here, about Instagram, about, newsletters, about all of that, check out the description. There's a link to join Insta Income School. And also follow me on Instagram, where I share more insights more consistently and just share my day to day life. And turned out I can actually help people. And like um you know now I have like plenty of case studies of guys hitting like 1 million followers. Obviously not overnight, it takes time.
Yeah.
But like one of the guys is from Costa Rica. His name is Ivan, and I'll be interviewing him tomorrow. And he grew this AI page when AI just got like was on the wave, and he caught the wave and he wrote it to like 1 million followers, which is pretty crazy. So I think what you're doing is like much better than promos, right? And
Yeah.
long term, you'll make more money. Maybe now, if you just promoted free Discord, like you're not going to make that much money, but long term, people will be joining and people will be more than happy to pay whatever price you put there because they see your expertise and like they know you can help them because you already done it and you do it every day anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is
So
definitely more of a long-term play. And like you said, I feel like I've also kind of struggled with that in the beginning, like the imposter syndrome. You don't really know if you're qualified to teach this information or share with other people, thinking maybe you just got lucky or whatever. But
yeah.
then like I built multiple pages for myself at this point, and I made a little course before with a friend, and one of the people who bought that, they had an Instagram page. I think they had like 50,000 followers at the time, and now they have like almost 1 million followers on Instagram from going through that course. They have like 500K on YouTube, and the course is like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all three. So I think the information I have definitely works, and I've proved it with myself and with other people as well a little bit. But
Yeah, definitely. It's like when you prove it to yourself, it's a great feeling, but then when someone else benefits from it, it's like next
yeah, I think it
level
feels
you know
even better.
Yeah. So it feels much better. So you feel like you're giving back to whatever, your network or your friends and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And you mentioned the newsletter. So are you talking about like an email newsletter?
Yeah.
And what's the plan with that?
Right now, I'm just trying to grow it up, and then I don't really know a lot about it, but once I'm gonna learn how to monetize it. But right now, I'm only focusing on the growth because it doesn't have enough subscribers to make any money anyway.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to learn more about that. And now that I'm in a position where I do have a little bit of money and stuff, I can pay to learn about it from people who know what they're doing and actually learn and make good money with it. But I'll probably just like push the Discord community for now on it, and then see what happens as it grows and starts hitting bigger numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think theme pages and email newsletters like really play hand in hand. They're such a similar business models. So for example, if you create a Discord community and you promote it on your Instagram, You can also use your email newsletter to promote the Discord, and like it's pretty much the same thing, but then emails are probably more valuable than a follower. So it's like
Yeah.
just a stronger community you've built if you have like an email newsletter and a page at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's kind of like a newer thing that I've noticed with the pages. Like 6 months ago, I didn't see anyone really doing that at all. But now I see a lot of pages with newsletters. And what I like to do with my pages and my network, I don't like to reinvent the wheel. I like to hop on trends when they're early and
Yeah.
ride the wave. How you were talking about the AI page, I think that's really the best way to do it. As long as having you have the right strategy, you might as well hop on the waves and follow the trends, not try to become the first in something.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, there's also you're pretty much hopping on both trends with a community because, like,
Yeah,
now there's a big trend of starting communities rather than just selling a course.
yeah,
So
info
people have,
products.
yeah, people just have a place where they can chat with each other and learn by kind of practicing and talking to other people rather than just buying like a video course and stuff. So I think you're doing the right thing because you're hopping on both trends. You're not just
Yeah,
hopping on one trend. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, and I
So
like the idea of having like people paying for something monthly. Like once you get them in, as long as you keep delivering, you don't lose them really. So you don't have to
yeah,
find new customers every single day to keep making money. You can build it up to 1,000 members and be making 40 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 20 grand a month, however much you're charging per month.
and when you think about it, you have like 1.2 million followers on Mindset Hub. You'll probably use like every channel you have, right, to
Yeah,
promote the Discord. It's like you have that many people. It's very likely that you'll hit that 1,000 member, count
yeah, definitely.
probably long term, but still at that point, when you have like 1,000 members, and let's say they're super happy with, everything they get for the price they pay, like you could stop uploading on Instagram for a year and you would still keep making money, right? So it's like
Yeah,
the perfect business model meets the perfect monetization kind of strategy, and you can make a lot of money without much efforts. So let's talk
yeah,
about that,
definitely.
right? What about like the efforts you have to put in the page? Like I know that I used to work way more on my page than I do now, but I'd love to hear like how much time does it take to run the page per day? Do you have like anyone helping you, or you have a team or anything like that?
By the way, guys, if you want to learn more about Instagram automation, about theme pages, and you want to go in depth, not only from this interview, but go really in depth and learn a lot and become a professional, check out the link in bio and join Insta Income School. Also, check me out on Instagram where I'm sharing more day to day life and just more random thoughts that come while I'm working.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. In the beginning, I worked way more,
Yeah.
like hours every day at least, I would say, when I was first starting the page, especially because I was bad at making the content. I wasn't efficient and I didn't have a team. So I was doing everything myself. So I'd have to wake up early because I had school. So I'd be waking up at 5, whatever, just so I can get my content done and make sure I have my post for the day. Because once I'm in school, it's done. I can't make it. And then I get home, I might not have time, or I'd be going to the gym with my friends after school.
Yeah.
So that I would spend like hours every day doing it, responding to messages, trying to learn stuff on YouTube, not really knowing where to look, but just all the free content, consuming as much as I could about growing on Instagram and trying different techniques, giving everything a shot, really trial and error. And then now, uh, maybe I spend like a few hours a month
Yeah.
because like the content's automated. I have team members making it all. Like really, the only thing I do now is like post the promotions, and if they send them early enough, I can just schedule those with Flick too.
Yeah.
So it's
So are you using Flick right now to schedule
yeah,
everything? Yeah.
yeah. Right now I'm
Uh,
using Flick, but
nice.
right now I'm switching my content, so I haven't used Flick for maybe a week because before I was doing the little slideshow carousel post, but those
Yeah.
kind of died down on my page. So now I'm switching to this new like AI style, like storytelling. I don't know if you've seen it, but I saw a lot
Yeah.
of pages blowing up with it. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and I started a new page with it too, as long as posting it as well as posting as mine on Mindset Hub.
Okay. So now you're still growing new pages, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're seeing this as still like a good opportunity to start,
yeah,
and like
definitely.
if someone's watching and they want to start a page, like it's not too late, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people like to say that as kind of an excuse for not trying. Like, oh, it's too late, it's oversaturated. But at the end of the day, you can succeed in any business if you know the right things and you do the hard work. So I think it really just comes down to people making excuses and not wanting to post for a few months and stay consistent every single day.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows, right? If you already have 1.5 million followers on Instagram and you're still starting new pages, it means it's
Yeah,
like hell of a good of opportunity, you know? So I'm glad to hear that, because I know that people can give up very easily, especially when they upload for like 2 months or 3 months and they don't make any money. They can have like 100,000 followers, but let's say they haven't made their first dollar because they don't know anything about selling promotions or selling products, and they can give up or they can sell their page for like 500 bucks
yeah.
when they can make so much money from it if they just keep going. And I don't know how long did it take you to kind of make your first money and grow your socials, but for me, like until I made normal money, I'd say it took me like 3-4 months. What about you?
Uh, I would say I had the Instagram account for a few months before I even posted on it. So I'm not really going to count that because I wasn't posting on it. But then I would say maybe it was like 2 or 3 months before I got my first kind of viral video, and that video got like 150, 200,000 likes, and ended up actually getting taken down. So that was like the highest of highs and then the lowest of lows. I kind of I didn't know if I ruined the page or what was going to happen. But then
Yeah.
after that, like maybe a week later, I started getting like multiple viral videos a week, and it just started taking off. And it was growing like thousands and thousands of followers per day, like 20,000 followers in a day sometimes.
Wow.
Just go like
That's
doing crazy
amazing.
numbers. And then I would say it took me like a while to like kind of make my first bit of money. Like maybe I had like 300,000 followers or something before I started like selling promotions because I just like you said I just didn't know what I was doing. Like I could have
Yeah.
been making more money way sooner, but I just had a lack of knowledge. So those followers were kind of just sitting there and kept growing.
All right. So, and when did you decide to hire someone to help you out with the page?
Um, I think for the reels, I made them for a long time, and then I built up like I had like 1,000 reels that I knew worked, so I kind of just kept like reusing them a little bit, create a little bit of a content loop, and would kind of
Mm,
recycle things every few months. And then when I switched to this style, not the AI style, I mean, I hired someone else for that now, but when I switched to carousel style that I saw doing really well and that gained me like 300,000 followers the first month I did it. I found a graphic designer from someone I already kind of knew a little bit, but I posted on my story, hired them, and that was just a big help because he was better at it than me, and then it
yeah.
freed up time for me to do other things.
So, does it cost a lot? Spill the tea. Like, how much does it cost to make one post?
I feel like for that I was paying kind of a fair amount because he's from America,
All
so
right.
it's not like hiring someone from overseas. And I think I was paying him like $2,000 a month to make 5 posts a day and schedule everything.
Yeah. Not too
I
bad,
mean,
to
I
be
guess
honest.
yeah, I guess it's not that crazy, but I mean, I'm comparing it to like the other people in like India that like make the reels and they'll do like 4 posts a day for like $500 a month.
Yeah.
But
But you kind of get what you pay for, right? So,
yeah,
sometimes it's better to
absolutely.
pay more. And
Yeah, I agree.
so, the guy manages fully like the page, so he uploads and he makes the content, right? So he finds the content and everything
Yeah,
from A to Z, so you kind of don't need to do anything, right? Just
yeah, that's
upload
what I'm
the
saying. Maybe
promos.
I work a few hours a month or something on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's worth paying than the $2,000 if you
Yeah,
can make like 10, 20K a month with just promos. you know, I'd gladly pay
yeah,
it. I'm paying a bit less, like 1,300 or so, but we're doing, I think, less posts than five right now, so that's why. But
yeah,
at the height of it, I think I was paying like 1,500 for like uploading and stuff and content creation. So if you compare what you get for it, it's pretty cheap.
yeah. Do you have other team members as well, or is it kind of just that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I have like three guys working on the page. So one just guy overlooking everything with the content. So he looks at the ideas of the content and stuff. But there's one guy fully dedicated to content, another guy fully dedicated to scheduling, and like a third guy just managing everything and making sure everything's smooth. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the team on the Instagram side, and then I have like a copywriter for the newsletter,
Yeah,
and some people to help with the course. But I try to keep it as lean as possible and not overcomplicate stuff when it doesn't need
yeah,
to.
definitely.
So then you can just chill and make a fair amount of money just by not doing much work.
Yeah, I prefer to definitely have higher quality team members than just like a
Yeah,
bunch of random people doing all the work. Like I want people that I trust and people that also want the page to grow. They aren't just doing it for the money. Like people that kind of have passion for what they do, passion for editing. And
yeah.
then right now I have a copywriter for my newsletter, and then I have someone for the Discord community that's helping me manage it and build the course and everything, doing all that back end stuff because he has experience in info product discords before. And
Mm.
then I just am like looking at this new guy for this new style of reels that I'm uploading. So he's probably gonna join the team too, but not 100% sure yet.
So how do you find those people?
Um, I found a lot of them like a lot of people reach out in DMs like offering services and stuff. So that's where I found a lot of people. Like that's where I found my copywriter. I mean, most of the people that reach out just aren't that good,
Yeah.
but like if I see that they actually know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, and I like the price, I like what they're offering, then I'll move forward and see how it goes. And then if the first month we work together is good, we'll just keep working together until something happens.
Okay. So
And
did
then
you have
Aiden,
anything happen before?
um, I don't think I've had any bad experiences with people that I've worked with. I mean, I don't work with the same people that I always have, but
Mm.
that's not because like we fell out or had any problem. It's just like, all right, well, I'm not going to be using this type of content anymore, or I'm not going to be needing this service anymore. So we kind of just stopped working, but definitely
Yeah.
for no bad reasons. How about you?
Um, I mean, yeah, with the Instagram stuff, pretty much that, like I probably worked with like 8 different video editors, but it's just like, everyone edits in their own style. So I
Yeah,
just didn't like the style they were editing the videos. So when I found someone better, I just switched to them. But now, yeah, I'm super glad with my team. Like, also, I have one guy fully running my personal brand, which is strange, right? Because it's your personal brand. But I just film a bunch of clips and I send the clips to him, and he makes like aesthetic kind of videos
yeah, I've
with the
seen that
captions, and he
style.
uploads it. So it's pretty cool. I had a few experiences where I was working with like agencies, but sometimes with an agency they outsource the work and they don't choose like the best people sometimes, so you kind of have to vet them properly, which I
Yeah.
didn't do. So yeah, I
How
only had
much
like bad experiences with that.
how much are you paying for the guy for your personal brand, if you don't mind, or just like a rough ballpark? Because I'm also starting that, or maybe you want to talk about it like after or something.
No,
Just
I
because
can be
like
honest. Right now I'm paying $5 a day for one video. So he just like edits the video, right? All I need to do is send the clips, and I gave him the logins of the personal brand, which is pretty strange, right? But I've been working with the guy for
yeah,
like a year now. So I kind of trust him, and he uploads it, finds like a viral sound, adds like a cover. So it's just one reel a day, right? But he really puts in the work. So if you want me to connect you with him, I can definitely do that after.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would
But
definitely be great because I'm gonna look to start making content for my personal brand too, and then especially once I finish up the community and have the paid section fully done, then I'm really gonna have to start driving traffic and also building on my personal brand.
yeah. So what about a personal brand you like? You obviously started like a faceless brand to kind of not show your face and just blow up on
Yeah,
social media like that. What about a personal brand you feel like, is better than just a theme page?
I feel like really the reason for the personal brand is because like if I'm gonna be selling a product, I want to build trust with the people that are buying it, and I want to build like more of a community. And I feel like that can be kind of hard to do when you're not showing your face. It can
Mm,
really be hard to build that connection with people and with customers, students, whatever you want to call them. So I think that's really a main thing. And then I don't really mind showing my face. Like that's not the reason why I got into theme pages. I guess that was just kind of like a extra little side benefit of not really having to be involved that much and having something ran solely on you. But I'm kind of excited to start it and see where it goes, learn about it because this is the first time I ever kind of dabbled in something like this.
yeah, definitely. No, I agree. It's much easier to sell the product when people like kind of see you and see you talking about the product rather than it's just like a brand talking about a Discord.
Yeah.
It's much harder to sell. So I see where you're coming from.
By the way, check out my Instagram, guys. It's at owner Arnas. And on my Instagram, sometimes I do these launches or I do these flash promos, which last only like 12 hours or 24 hours. And I give huge discounts on my programs or I have crazy offers, but those offers are only for like 2 or 3 people who are ready to go and are action takers. So if you want to see those, follow me on Instagram at owner Arnas.
So we talked, about all the good stuff about like theme pages and stuff like that. Like, what's the bad stuff? No one talks about it,
Um,
but
yeah.
I'd love to hear it from you.
um, I don't. I feel like for me it would be a little hard to find a a negative just because it's done so much good for me and changed. It really has changed my life, even though maybe that sounds a little cliche or whatever. But
No, it's
I,
it's definitely like a net positive, like in
yeah,
general, right? You grew
I
this
would.
massive page and stuff, but I'm just asking, like, what are the cons, let's say? Because
Yeah,
there are so many pros, but what are the cons of
yeah.
it?
I would say maybe the biggest con that I can think of is because like because you don't need any money to start it. You only need a phone. Like you have to really rely on consistency and the right strategy. Like you said before, it's not going to happen overnight. Like you're not just going to have a million followers and be making 10K plus per month overnight. You do need to put in the effort and work consistently for months at least before you're
Yeah.
really going to start seeing a big change in your life. And I feel like maybe that can be a big con for a lot of people because they just simply don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to see results very quick, but
Yeah,
usually it never happens like that. Like, not even with Instagram or social media, like whatever business you'll choose, usually it's super hard to get like some serious results in three
yeah,
months. So I
yeah. I
think,
guess that's kind of a con for any business.
yeah.
And
So
I
it
guess
takes
maybe
time.
for like strictly Instagram, maybe like working with a lot of people, it can be like you kind of need to learn how to be a little bit of a people person, especially once you get to building a team. Like some people might not know what they're doing, or like you really have to kind of like watch your back sometimes, especially with the agencies that just care purely about money. Like you can't
Yeah.
be asking the wrong people for advice because they'll just tell you what they want to tell you, so that way they can get what they want out of you. You have to really make sure you're getting the right advice from the right people. Like, because I remember in the beginning, like I didn't really have a set price out, like a set price for any promotions or anything. When agencies started reaching out, and I was like kind of gullible, naive, didn't really know what I was doing, so I was asking them like, "Oh, well, what do you think a fair price is for this page?" Blah blah blah, and that's how I ended up charging like $50 for a page that had like 500,000 followers, which is just
Yeah, you should
way
have
too
been
low.
charging like $200, right?
Yeah, it's just way
Yeah.
too low. And then it's also like when you kind of get stuck in that like situation and you work with that agency for a long time, it can be hard to like raise prices. When you
Mm,
start at $50 and then you try to go to 250, $300, like now, even though you're charging a fair price, they just see it as the price going up 400% plus.
yeah.
So obviously they're not happy with that.
No, that's yeah. It happened to me too multiple times. It's kind of yeah. It just dealing with so many different people can be pretty frustrating at certain times. But then you get paid for you get paid for it. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's not a big deal, right?
Yeah, I think the pros
Awesome.
far outweigh the cons.
Yeah, exactly. So, where do you see the world of like theme pages going right now? What do you think is happening in the marketplace, and what kind of advice could you give for those who just want to start from zero?
I think theme pages are perfectly fine. I think they're going to be around for years to come. I think really as long as Instagram's a thing and it's as popular as it is, which I don't see it going anywhere. And then for people first starting, I would say really make sure if you have some money to invest in yourself, spend the money to get a little course from someone. Just like try to get that information because then it just saves you so much time, so much stress. You don't have to do everything through trial and error and make all the mistakes first. The person's already telling you what to do and talking about the mistakes they've made. But if you don't and you want to just start scratch from yourself, I would say make sure you do good market research, find pages that are doing well, really study what they're doing, and take your time. Don't try to go fast and quick and skip over steps. And then also like the main thing, the most important thing I think for Instagram and social media in general is consistency. No matter how good your strategy is, if you post one post a week, it's just going to take forever for you to blow up. So make sure you stay consistent, stick to what you set out to do, keep posting 2 times per day, and then eventually you'll just get results.
No, I agree 100%. Everything you said, you nailed it. So awesome. It was a great time. So where can people find you? Uh, just to see you, maybe message you, maybe they have any
Yeah.
questions for you, you know?
So my at is on my screen name. I think they can see it in the recording,
Oh,
but
yeah.
at owner Collin on Instagram. And then they can message me there. I have the link to my Discord in my bio if they want to join and ask any questions in the general chat, whatever, and just connect. I'll be active on my Instagram, Discord always. And then that's really it. I also appreciate you for having me on, especially as the first person. So thank you a lot. I really
Definitely.
appreciate that, Arnis.
Definitely, definitely. Thanks for coming on, and just one more thing,